Hey, JW here. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well out there. Thought I'd do a quick video. I have to go to work in about 30 minutes. Allergies are brutal up here in New England this time of year. I don't know how they are where you are, but it's, I think it's grass pollen just came in. There's been tree pollen prior to that. I've been, for the last couple of days, I've been feeling like crap, to be honest with you. Along with my wound, if you've been keeping up with the exploits of my wound injury. Yeah, I'm not usually a person who's inactive, but I've been kind of inactive the last couple of days. I decided rather than go for my daily walk, I cut it back from 2 hours to 1 hour once I got this wound. But I felt that it was important to still maintain my physicality and my fitness level. And because I also knew that by walking would, increase the blood flow to the wound, which you want for healing purposes. So anyway, that's what I did. But last couple of days, I've said I'm going to kind of see if I can quiet this thing down. And, I got to admit, staying off it for the last couple of days seems to have helped it. And I think it irritates the wound when I walk that the shoe rubs against it. So I've been, when I wrap I have to do a wound change, a bandage change, dressing change every day after my shower. I usually get up and take my shower, not right away, but I do a few things, maybe go out for a walk, like I said, and then come back and take a shower. But after that, I change the wound dressing and keep it clean, and when I'm in the shower it off. And usually changing the dressing disturbs it a little bit, so it'll tweak the pain up a little bit, but it's necessary, Well, yesterday and part of the day before, I found that the pain was, I'd say, moderate to low, as opposed to moderate to high. It was a significant improvement, a noticeable improvement. And right now it's a little more than it was yesterday, but still very manageable, and I'm quite pleased with that. I go to the wound center tomorrow, and I'm hoping I can report some good news for a change to them. I usually go in there with, when they say, "How you doing?" I go, "Groundhog Day," because it seems like every day is the same. But so tomorrow I'm hoping to tell them that things are maybe this thing's starting to turn around. I've said that before and I've been wrong, but I'm going to think positive. I'm basically a pretty positive-minded person, always have been. I've always been into positive thinking, way back when I was young. I was a big fan of all the positive thinking guys, and, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie. I remember, I think I was the first one in my neighborhood, in my community, probably. Most people have not even heard of the Dale Carnegie course. And I took it right out of high school, when I get out of the service, I took it, I think, right after. Yeah. So, I was a young guy. I knew I was going to be hopefully getting into sales at some point. And, so I thought it's going to be useful from what I've been reading about it. And it was. I think it gave me a lot of confidence. My Aunt Louise, who was a nice lady, and I remember when she'd come in to visit my parents, and I was just a young guy, 20, 21. She'd say, "John, ever since you took that Dale Carnegie course, your personality has just been sparkling, and I tell people all the time what wonderful things it did for you." And I think it did. So so I've always been a positive-minded person. And then when I get into Napoleon Hill and those people, I was like, I just believed that positive thinking would solve everything. It won't, but it's still good to have. It's not going to hurt you. But to think that just because you think positive that everything's going to be fine, you got to take action, of course. And, that's part of the deal. And, when you're young, you're a little lazy and you think, I'll just think positive. But you got to put the action in behind it. Let me see if I can bring up a video here. Again, I keep complaining about this computer, and I do think it's a computer now, the more I think of it, because it's just been slower than molasses. And so I'm going to try later, get downstairs in my other office, do a video from there, and see if there's a difference. And what's this video about? Sometimes videos pop up recommended to me. I think I've watched this guy's stuff before. He's some sort of an economist or something. I think he's an amateur economist, but he's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about him, he always looks like the face of doom. Everything's like a major doom to him. Big banks are going to destroy specific lenders. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's all clickbait, as you know. We all know. Everything today is clickbait. And without clickbait, you got to get eyes on your videos. So like how often do you pull up a video and it has nothing to do with the title, the clickbait that got you to click on the video? You think they didn't say anything about that, but we live in a world where everything is. I don't want to say it's fake, but it's kind of is. I mean, if you want the truth, it's foolery almost. We used to call it tomfoolery, and I don't know. Just now I know when I see a really outrageous title that I'm not even going to bother clicking on it because I know it's going to be crapola. Anyway, this allergy's killing me. I'm just trying to see if I can bring up a video here. I mean, why can't my computer run a YouTube video while I'm running a software that's not even on my computer? It's what's called software as a service. It's online. I don't see what the problem is, but excuse me. I got all this congestion in my chest. I don't like taking over-the-counter medicines, but I had good luck with Mucinex one time when I had this issue. So I took it. See what this guy has to say. Economic ninja, he's known. Yes, the economic ninja. And, I don't know if he's good, bad, or indifferent. I've only listened to him a couple times, but he's always very, very serious. I mean, I understand, the subject matter he's talking about is not upbeat, but, he just looks like litter. It looks like the world is going to end. It's really not. At least I don't think. Not that I'm aware of. This, like I said, I'm going to have to do it on different computer. I have a really, mentioned this probably more times than I should have too, but I have a really high processing power computer. Yeah, you know what? This is why I don't subscribe to this guy. I mean, he's got a ton of subscribers, almost 500,000 subscribers. I guess people have different interests. I don't like the he's not telling me anything different. I can find out by going to Yahoo or something. If you go on Yahoo, they give you kind of a rundown of. That's usually what I do in the morning. I mean, Yahoo is not necessarily the legitimate reporting arm of unbiased news, but I get the gist of what's going on in the world, and that's good enough for me. If I get the gist, because what am I going to do, huh? What? What am I going to do? Protest the banks, So anyway, that's what I do. I go here. Let's see. Let's get on. I'll show you exactly what I do every day. Okay, Russia surprise invasion of Kharkiv. creates new challenge for Ukraine. You know, I don't want to sound ignorant, but I honestly, I'm like over that war. That war has cost this country so much money, and then they tell you that Ukraine's winning the war. It's clearly not winning the war. If you if you pay attention, you realize that there's bias in every kind of news thing, and in order for the politicians to justify sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, they need to say that it's making a difference. I have a hard time believing that Ukraine could defeat Putin in a war. But what do I know? Huh? Again, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. And let's see what else we got here. Gaza fighting worse than Israel last night. Another war that I wish we weren't involved in, wish we weren't spending money on. The inside story of Elon Musk's firing of Tesla supercharger staff. Don't care. Coroner ID 71-year-old worker who fell to death in an elevator shaft at Erie warehouse. Wow. Yeah, I spent some time in Erie, Pennsylvania. Lake Erie is very impressive. It's like the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, when it gets rough, man, that thing, I was there during a bad storm one time, and it was pretty intense. Remember there was a song about Lake Erie. I can remember the tune, but I can't remember the name of the song. It'll come to me. John B. and me. Okay. In honor, Gordie Howe Bridge closer to completion as crews to connect. Gordie Howe is a great hockey player. Said I must be in Detroit. Played for the Detroit Red Wings. And he was like legendary. He played in a hockey game when he was in his late 50s, I think, maybe even early 60s. It was kind of a stunt more than anything, but this guy, he played competitively at a high level of competitiveness into his mid to late 40s. He was just a sensational hockey player and a tough guy. Ooh, you talk about tough as nails. Most of your superstars tend to be a little on the soft side, but not him. He was one tough hombre. In hockey, anyone who's a hockey fan knows that when you have a real superstar, you protect them from the bullies, the tough guys. In hockey, there's two types of players. There's the finesse players. They skate well, they move well, they shoot well. And then there's the tough guys. They're hockey's hacks, okay? They're not real skilled, but they are tough. And they'll start a fight. And they're out there to protect the finesse players, the guys who don't fight. Because the guys who don't fight are the guys that are going to get picked on by the other team, because the other team's tough guy knows that if I don't check this finesse play, he's going to hurt us by scoring goals. So there's a need for both style of play, and good teams realize that. There's very few teams who win that don't have both finesse players and the tough guys. But Gordie Howe could take care of himself. And then his sons were great hockey players. I think one of his sons was a Hall of Famer like him. And body cam shows Columbus officer shootout with Amazon guy. Oh, Amazon guy. Jeez. Trump's Boeing 757s clipped corporate jet at West Palm Beach Airport. Non-story. Who cares? America sought after, so I raped him. Americans sought after, so I raped you. Facebook message detained in France. Oh, jeez. State College community mourns the death of Park Forest middle school student. It's always a shame to see a kid die. What else we got here? Nearly 100 Red Lobsters marked closed on restaurant site. See the full list. I always thought those places did pretty well, although being from New England, we're used to, top-notch seafood, and I would never in my life stop at a Red Lobster, that's for sure. But then, if you don't live in a state that's, or a region that's conducive to good seafood, yeah, sure, I'm sure it's very passable. And I've heard actually people said it was pretty good, even people from around here. Okay, anything else? Protective mobile charges attack struck head on in the wild video. Yeah, never go near a bear that has cubs. That's one thing one piece of advice I can give you that will never fail you. If you see cubs anywhere, even when you don't see mama, mama's not far behind. Don't think you can go up and start taking selfies, and believe me, it won't end well. I sound terrible, I know. I don't feel as bad as I sound. It's just, I think the music is doing its thing and it's starting to get going. But anyway, I gotta kind of get moving, go to work. Just wanted to jump on and just talk about nothing, and I succeeded. Thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll do another video later this afternoon when I get to work. I like doing them when I'm waiting to, I got about a 12-minute wait to go to work from when I arrive at work. So I figure it's a good time to do a video on my phone. So I'll check with you then.